Ken sits at the end of the bench with the cards in his pint pot. The lads all try to avoid him and not get into a shot. Off they trot, but Ken told the same old tales about his usual day. What he'd like to get off his chest he knows he cannot say. Ken was in the desert rats making Rummel run. Then he fought through Italy, an important man with a gun. When he got back to the pit he was no longer number one. The comradeship they built wasn't his. November Sunday morning, Ken stands very straight, polished medals on his chest, marches with a steady gait. Talking about the football or a flutter at the track, Ken joins in the laughter from his place at the back, the odd white crack. But doodle bombs and blackouts, mists and huts and all, Ken couldn't reminisce with them, it had never been his call. Ken found the younger lads and tried to join in. Generation he fought for those he had to win. But he soon tired of listening, here comes boring Ken. The comradeship they built it wasn't his. November Sunday morning, Ken stands fairly straight, polished medals on his chest, marches with a crooked gait. The pup no longer has the bench, there is no pup at all. It's a daycare nursery, the pup went to the wall, bench and all. With a fist up there's an enterprise owner token instead of a job. Where they dug in the war or fought with the seam, it's enough to make you sob. Ken no longer drinks his halves, his fluids are written down. Sits and looks for visitors at his care home in the town. Ken sits in his wing-back chair, nobody does come round. The carers know him by his care plan. November Monday morning, Ken lies very straight. They couldn't find his medals, no eulogy by any army mate. Well, hello and welcome. I'm Ian Mather. I'm just up the road in Belton, just outside Epworth. I write songs, I sing songs, I sing other people's songs, and I love singing traditional folk songs as well. That first song that we just started with was one of my own. It's called Ken's World, and if you're listening to the words, you may have found out that it was about an old guy who worked down the pit who went away in the war. In fact, quite a few did. You know, we all think about miners all working down the pit during the war, but they did really fall into two camps. And when I was a young apprentice, all the old men who were ready for retirement and having all the nice little easy jobs that the apprentices used to go and help out with, they fell into two very distinct camps. Those who worked down the pit during the war and them as didn't. So I wrote a little song about them. That was called Ken's World. Anyway, I did say I do like to sing traditional folk songs, and this song was written, we believe, around the time that the events that it describes, which was the end of the Napoleonic Wars. And I'm going to sing this one because it really is one of my favourite ballads of all time. It's called The Plains of Waterloo. As I rode out one fine summer's morning, down by the gay banks of some clear and pleasant stream, there I espied a fair maid making sad lamentation. So I drew myself in ambush to hear her sad refrain. Through the wood she marched along, caused the valleys to ring. The fine feathered songsters around her they flew, saying the wars they are over and peace it is restored again. Yet my will is not returning from the plains of Waterloo. stepped out to this fair maid, and I said, my young creature, oh, may I make so bold as to ask your true love's name? For it's I have been in battle where our cannons round do rattle, and by some strange fortune I might have known the same. Willie Smith's my true love's name, he's a hero of great fame. Now he's gone and left me, and stole my heart, it's true. Yet there's none I will enjoy but my own darling boy, although he's not returned yet from the plains of Waterloo. If Willie Smith's your true love's name, then he's a hero of great fame. He and I have been in battle through many a long campaign, through Italy and Russia, through Germany and Prussia. Oh, he was me loyal comrade through France and through Spain, until at length with the French we were surrounded. Like the heroes of old, we did them subdue. We did fight for 3 days till we finally did defeat him. Oh, that bold Napoleon Boney on the plains of Waterloo. On the 18th day of June it was the end of the battle, leaving many a poor hero to moan and to sigh. Oh, the war drums they did beat and the cannons loudly rattle. It was from a French bullet your Willie did die. And as I passed along to where he lay a-bleeding, I scarcely had time for to bid him adieu. In a faltering voice these words he was repeating, fare thee well, my lovely Annie, you are far from Waterloo. And when this fair maid heard his sad acclamation, oh, her 2 rosy cheeks turned to pale and to wan. And when this young man heard her sad lamentation, oh, he said, me lovely Annie, I am that very one. And here is the ring that was broken between us, in the heat of our dangers to remind me of you. And when she saw the token, well, she fell into his arms then. Say you're welcome, dearest Willie, from the plains of Waterloo. I'm delighted to see that one of my favourite singers, Shirley Collins, who's been entertaining people since before I was born, she's still entertaining. In fact, as we're recording this, late May, she did a concert last night at the Barbican in London. And wow, she just released a new album as well. And it really is an amazing album too. And yeah, she really has set the score for how we interpret traditional folk song. Well, I think so anyway. And this is a song that was written for her by her then husband, Austin John Marshall, in the early 70s. They found out that when you were seeing Morris dancing, or any type of traditional dance for that matter, there were lots of women dancing as well as the men. Now, you know, I think we're all told at school, oh, Morris dancing is something to do with fertility. Well, that's another argument for another time. There were lots of women, but all these women were of an age. The age where at the end of the dancing, they took the shoes and socks off and started rubbing the feet. And these women were nearly all widows from the First World War. The idea being that the husbands went off and the boyfriends went off during the First World War, and the women kept the village traditions going, and some of the men didn't come back. So by the by the early 70s, a lot of these women were still dancing. And it's a song called "The Ladies Dancing at Whitsun." It's 50 long springtime since she was a bride, but still you may see her at each Whitsuntide, in a dress of white linen with ribbons of green as the memories of loving. The feet that were nimble tread carefully now, as gentle a measure as age will allow. Through groves of white blossom, through young fields of corn, where once she was pledged to her true love. The fields they stand empty, the hedges grow free, no young men to tend them, nor pastures go see. They're gone where the forests of oak trees before have gone to be wasted in battle. Down from the green farmlands, from their loved ones, marched husbands and brothers, fathers and sons. There's a great foam of holly where the maypole once stood, and the ladies go dancing at Whitsun. There's a straight row of houses in these latter days, all covering the downs where the sheep used to graze. There's a wreath of red poppies, a gift from the Queen, that the ladies remember at Whitsun. And the ladies go dancing at Whitsun. Right, we're going to wander over to the USA now for a couple of songs. Sorry about that. Traditional songs as well. This song comes from the late 19th century and will have been written by an itinerant preacher, either Baptist or Methodist. And they used to go around trying to get people to their way of thinking by teaching them songs that weren't necessarily hymns, which was rather clever of them. That meant that people would sing them all the time, not just on a Sunday morning. And these songs had a spiritual edge to them, but that was it, nice and subtle. And what we're describing here is the birth of gospel. And this song really has stood the test of time. It's the poor wayfaring stranger. Wayfaring stranger, I'm traveling through this world of woe. There's no sickness, toil or danger in that bright land. I'm going there to see my mother, going there no more travelling through this world of woe. There's no sickness, toil or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my father, going there no more to roam. I'm just going over Jordan. Well, I'm just going over. I'm just going over. Right, we're going to stay in the States. This song, again, late 19th century, it started getting the form that it has now. And in the early 20th century, Louis Armstrong picked it up and recorded it. So then it became, bang, everybody knows it type song. And it's called the St. James's Infirmary Blues. What's interesting about this song is if you really go back to the origins of it, we end up in London in the early 17th century. And they're all variations of a song called The Unfortunate Rake. And, you know, yeah, I sing a version as well called The Young Sailor Cut Down in His Prime. It's all basically the same song. That's what fascinates me about traditional songs, looking at the history of them, about all these songs, where did they come from and how did one song become part of another. But this has become a very famous American song, despite the fact it's a 400-year-old British one, really. Anyway, St. James's Infirmary Blues. I went down to old Joe's barn at the corner of the square. Well, the drinks were served as usual. The usual crowd was there. In walked old Joe Kennedy. His eyes were bloodshot red. Well, he turned to the crowd around him, and these were the words he said. I'm down to St. James's Infirmary. Well, I saw my baby there. She was dressed on a long white table, so sweet, so cold, so fair. Oh, let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. Well, you can search the whole world over, but you'll never find no better man than me. When I die, bury me in straight-laced shoes, long coat and Stetson hat, put a gold link on my watch chain, so the boys will know I died standing pat. Oh, when will I ever stop crying? When will I ever smile? My baby's gone and left me. She'll be gone for a very long while. Oh, let her go, God bless her, wherever she may be. You can search the whole world over, but you'll never find no better man than me. Many of the very, very old songs, if you like, pre-industrial revolution are all obviously about people in farming, if they're going to be mentioning what they did for a living. But come the Industrial Revolution, lots and lots of new songs started coming about from the northern cities especially. And a lot of the people involved in collecting folk songs in the late 19th century, early 20th century, tended to ignore them. And it's only in more recent times that a lot of these songs have started getting the attention they deserve. This was one of my all-time favourites. I used to spend a lot of time introducing this song and saying all things about social class and divisions and how it started stratifying. One band, and I still can't remember who, said on their album sleeve when they recorded this song, and the song, by the way, is called The Handweaver and the Factory Maid, they said, "A love song set amidst changing social values, with breasts." And basically, I can't top that, so let's give it a whirl. I'm a hand weaver to my trade. I fell in love with a factory maid. If I could but her attentions win, I'd sit by her, I'd weave by steam. My father unto me did say, how can you fancy a factory maid when you can have lasses fine and gay, all dressed like unto the Queen of May? As for your fine girls, well, I do not care. If I could but enjoy my dear, I'd stand in the factory every day. She and I would keep our shuttles in play. Well, I went to my love's bedroom door, where oftentimes I have been before. I could not speak nor yet get in the pleasant bed that my love lay in. How can you say it's a pleasant bed when nought lies there but a factory maid, a factory lass although she be? Blessed is the man who enjoys she. Oh, pleasant thoughts come to my mind as I pull back those sheets so fine, see her two breasts standing so, like two white hills all covered with snow. Where are the girls? I will tell you plain. They've all gone off for to weed by steam. If you will catch them, you must rise at dawn and trudge to the factory in the early morn. Right, if you're still with me, thank you very much. Gone to the last song. Hooray! Well, we started by one of my own songs and about my old profession when I left school. When I worked down the pit, I was an electrician, so work is a figurative term. And yeah, this is another one. I've only just written it actually. And it was after I found out that one of the places where I used to go on training courses, the coal board used to have all these training courses all over the place, normally attached to collieries. And one of them was at Manvers near Rotherham. And I found out recently that the site is now a call centre. And it got me thinking that, it used to be there for mining. And now it's about selling you alternative energy suppliers. And the whole idea just spread into a song. So I'll leave you with this one. Thanks so much for listening. Some wonderful, wonderful entertainers at Epworth Music Day this year. Have a listen to all their videos if you get a chance, because I have. And I think that we've got some really, really good talent. It makes me feel so excited for next year when hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be out there on the streets live. Harry and Frank were lucky boys, straight from school to a job for life. If you can handle the dirt and noise, raise a family with your wife. They worked whilst their children grew. It was the only life they knew. And 1,000 Harrys collected their tallies, countless Franks lit their lamps, digging to keep the home fires burning, digging to keep their families fed. 3 bells, then 2, and it's down below. A word with the deputy in by bound. Hang up your flask and off you go, whilst your family's sleeping sound. They worked whilst their children grew. Was the only life they knew. And 1,000 Harrys collected their tallies, countless Franks lit their lamps, digging to keep the home fires burning, digging to keep their families fed. Harry and Frank were lucky boys, retired before they shut the pit. They worried for their boys, their life would take a hit, and they worked whilst their children grew. It was the only life they knew. And 1,000 Harrys collected their tallies, countless Franks lit their lamps, digging to keep the home fires burning, digging to keep their families fed. You wouldn't recognize the mine. There's a call centre hiring now. Their grandchildren man the line. They'd love to have a career, but how? The children of miners have been hired to sell alternative energy suppliers. And 1,000 Harrys collected their tallies, countless Franks lit their lamps, digging to keep the home fires burning, digging to keep their families fed. There's no such thing as society, or so I read.